think I might have ADHD. So I thought, you know what, let's make a video about it. Now the issue is I don't actually know whether I do or I don't. I'm 36 years old, and up until a few months ago, did I think I have ADHD? No, not at all. However, just recently I've started to notice a few things. If you've seen my videos lately, you might have noticed that there's a hole in my bike. You see that? Well, I've always been terrible at remembering where I've put stuff, and I just thought that I had a bad memory. That hole is meant to be a multi-tool in there, and I put that down somewhere safe about a month ago, and I haven't been able to find it since. All my life I've put stuff down and not been able to find it. I used to drive my parents wild but I needed a new pair of football boots, new PE kit every week. Well, not every week, but well, sometimes more than twice a week. And I always thought that that was just me having a really bad memory. And I always thought that ADHD was just that wild kid, the one that can't sit still. But my partner, she works at a school with kids with ADHD, and she's telling me, no, that's not always the case. Yes, it does happen, but it's not always the case. So I've been doing a little bit of research on memory, and lately it's been getting worse and worse and worse, and I was seriously concerned that maybe I had dementia, but it turns out that a symptom of ADHD is not remembering things. And it's weird actually, looking into it, it turns out that it's not that you don't remember something, it's that that memory is never recorded in the first place. And as soon as I found that out, it was like, yeah, that makes sense. It's not that it went into my head, it never does. I put stuff down and I don't ever think that I'm putting it there. And then if I say I'm going to do something, I forget to do it. And it's not that I'm lazy or can't be bothered to do it, it's that the memory I never recorded the memory that I was going to do it. Everything that I do has to be done immediately, to be honest, in my life. Otherwise it just doesn't happen. So one of the craziest stories I've got about my terrible memory is I was in Wales. I used to be big into whitewater kayaking, and I was paddling this quite difficult river, and with ADHD you're meant to have this thing called hyperfocus, and it means like you can do this thing that normal people can't do, which means you're incredibly focused on something. So I was incredibly focused on paddling this river, right? Got off, got changed, drove home from Wales to Leicestershire, and when I got home to Leicestershire I realised I'd forgotten all of my kit. My boat, which is like 9 foot long, I mean, how can you lose that? My paddle, all of my kit. Luckily for me, there was a guy who I was talking to after I got changed who picked up all of my kit, and he lived in Nottingham, and I was able to meet him and get my kit back. Looking back now, what had happened was I was hyper focused on paddling that river. As soon as I got off it, the hyper focus was gone. I started chatting to a guy, I was getting changed, didn't think anything of it, didn't even remember that I'd not put my boat on, I'd put it down by the side of the road. I just got in the car and just drove off, and I didn't realise until I got home, which is completely crazy. And I think that just probably just proves my point. What's that got to do with these videos? Well, I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know. What am I trying to say? Basically, my point is, so what's this got to do with riding bikes? Well, my point is, I think I have been finding a coping strategy to deal with my ADHD. And one thing that cycling used to do for me, and it's not doing it now, is that I could go out for a ride and my brain would go quiet. and I wouldn't be constantly thinking about a million different things at once. I didn't even realise that that's what my brain was doing until recently. But lately, when I'm riding my bike, I'm thinking about, did I lock the house? Did I put the handbrake on the van? What am I going to have for dinner? What am I meant to be saying in this video? What am I going to say next? I need to find a better job. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And what the hell is that? Yeah, basically my brain's just going wild. And getting out on a bike used to be that I could go out and ride and all of those thoughts would go away. It was almost like a meditation. But lately, I don't think that's happening. And I think the reason for that is my life in the last year has got a whole lot more complicated. I'd sort of got myself into a situation where I was comfortable and it wasn't really an issue. This ADHD thing I didn't even know I had. I was doing the same job day in, day out. I knew what I could get away with. I was good at it. I didn't really have a lot to worry about. And then I left. And then I think what's brought this all around is job interviews. So I've been doing a lot of job interviews and I've been wondering why I've not been successful at it. And I think what's been happening is, I realise now, someone will ask me a question and I'll start answering it and I'll get halfway through and I don't even remember what the question was. So what am I going to do about it? I don't know. I mean, I thought about going to the doctor and explaining this, but I don't really want to take medication. What other options are there? I don't know, you tell me. Anyway, I thought I'd make this video quickly to discuss this because I bet you there's a lot of cyclists that don't realise they've got ADHD or have found out that they've got ADHD. And the reason that they're doing into cycling is because it helps them with it. You either realise that or you haven't realised it yet, and maybe you're going to find out. Maybe you don't even realise, but you'll watch this video and think, oh actually, yeah, maybe that's me. Yeah, I'm just going to carry on riding. Let's just carry on riding. Who do you know? Yeah.